The villagers were in utter shock. "The red-eyed monster is a noble?" someone blurted out. "Watch your mouth," another snapped. "That's rude. You should call him Sir Eugene." Even Miriam, hovering beside Eugene, couldn't hide her disbelief. "Even if it's a lie, isn't that going too far?" she whispered. Eugene merely smiled. "You saw their reaction earlier," he murmured to her. "These people have never seen a noble before. They're already in an uproar over the idea that a boy hiding in a mountain village is of noble blood. Even if I impersonate one, they don't have the means to tell the difference." The villagers, now visibly excited, gathered around him. Eugene answered calmly, "Due to various circumstances, I severed ties with others and chose to live in seclusion." The villagers nodded in admiration. The village chief spoke apologetically. "Our village is poor. We cannot offer you a proper reward." "That's fine," Eugene replied gently. "If possible, I would simply like to rest here tonight and relieve my fatigue." "That is the least we can do," the chief said warmly. The next morning Eugene stood by the window in the shade, studying his hand. Thin black scales spread across his skin, an ability he had obtained from the former master of the forest. The hardened scales dulled the sunlight somewhat. Thanks to this, the journey ahead would be far easier. Miriam floated beside him, frowning. "You ignorant vampire, what were you thinking telling such a lie? You claim to be a knight, yet you can't even read." Eugene's expression didn't change. "Perhaps I'll be exposed someday. It doesn't matter. I'll be gone by then." Miriam crossed her arms. "Then tell me, what is your real goal? You lived quietly in the forest all this time. Why suddenly build relationships with villagers and accept their request?" Before he could answer, a voice called from outside. "Sir Eugene, we're ready. We can depart now." Eugene gestured toward the voice. "See," he told Miriam. "Overnight I gained status. Humans often believe authority more readily than they believe long explanations. I can tell 100 lies, but if I establish status first, those 100 lies become 10. He adjusted his mask. "This village may accept a makeshift lie like this. Nobles won't. That's why from now on, I'll make the lie real." So far he had been building trust through good deeds. The village chief approached and handed him a letter. "In case there is any misunderstanding, I've written a statement explaining everything," he said. "Please take good care of Felix, our young master." Felix stepped forward and bowed politely. "I look forward to your guidance, Sir Eugene." Eugene inclined his head. "Jan Eugene. It's a pleasure to meet you." And with that, the two of them departed, beginning their journey toward the House of Twin. They arrived at a nearby settlement soon after. Eugene glanced ahead. "Is that village called Brahms?" Felix studied the wooden sign at the roadside. "Judging by the letters, yes. That should be Brahms." Eugene paused. "You can read?" Felix nodded. "My late mother taught me. She was of low status, so she never learned properly herself. She said the man she loved taught her." Miriam floated closer to Eugene, grinning. "That's perfect. You can ask him to teach you how to read." "Good idea." Eugene turned to Felix. "Would you mind teaching me as well?" Felix froze. "You? But Sir Eugene, you're a knight. Don't tell me you can't read." Eugene's gaze softened, his expression tinged with sadness. "A knight in name only. My family has already fallen. There's nothing to boast about. What kept me alive wasn't words, but a single sword." Felix's eyes widened. "Then, could it be that your family is already—" He stopped himself. Silence followed as they continued walking. Inside, Eugene was perfectly aware of what he was doing. Doubt first, then sympathy, then belief. Once trust was formed, it would become thick enough to conceal every lie. Miriam laughed quietly. "Your acting is flawless. Though be careful, overusing lies can raise suspicion." She glanced at Felix. "But judging by his expression, that won't be a problem. He already believes everything." Sure enough, Felix soon bowed his head. "I apologize, Sir Eugene. I was doubting you. One moment you were called a monster, the next a noble. I let prejudice cloud my judgment." He clenched his fists. "I'll trust what I see with my own eyes, not rumors. If you come from a martial family, it makes sense that reading was neglected. I'll teach you in my spare time so you won't be embarrassed in front of others." He was about to ask Eugene more, when an arrow flew straight toward his eyes. Clang. Eugene caught it midair. Felix stumbled back in shock. From the trees emerged several men, one holding a crossbow, another gripping a pickaxe. They laughed loudly. "Just like you taught us," one sneered. Crossbows are easy once you get the hang of it. Felid froze. Are robbers? What's that look for? The man laughed. Yes, robbers. So this will be quick. Drop your luggage. Everything in your pockets too. Move slow and you die. He opened his mouth to laugh again. His head separated from his body. It rolled across the dirt. Blood sprayed. No one understood what had happened. Eugene had already moved. Didn't you say to move quickly? Eugene said calmly. The man with the pickaxe charged next. His head followed the first. One by one Eugene cut them down, clean, precise, merciless. A robber screamed for help, but it was useless. Eugene hurled his sword straight through the man's chest. He walked forward slowly, blood never touching his body. I don't understand humans, Eugene said quietly. Why do they try to kill and steal simply because someone looks weaker? Is it acceptable to bully the weak? He looked at Felid. If I learn to read, will I be able to understand things like that? Felid couldn't answer. He hesitated. So did Eugene. Felid gagged at the sight of blood. You said you'd confirm things with your own eyes, Eugene continued. What you believe is up to you. He wiped his blade. But I won't allow even a single drop of blood to stain me. And just like that, the carnage ended.